As somebody who was a teenager living in the Pacific Northwest in the 1990s, it won't surprise you to learn that I loved what Matt Pinfield would affectionately call alternative rock. Nirvana, Pavement, Mudhoney, Afghan Wigs, and of course, Dinosaur Jr. If it rocked, I was there for it. In fact, the noisier the better, as my absolute favorite band was Sonic Youth, the New York City foursome that would regularly use screwdrivers and drumsticks to create long, distortion-filled soundscapes that directly influenced most of my favorite musical acts, including a young Kurt Cobain. Perhaps because they never attained the mainstream success of Nirvana or Pearl Jam, it was always exciting to see Sonic Youth show up on TV or hear him in a movie. It was a reminder that while noise rock may have been too much for radio stations wanting to push the newest Stone Temple Pilots song, the Youth were still respected by the people working in other mediums. When Thurston and Kim invaded Stars Hollow in that episode of Gilmore Girls, I cheered! I loved that they dominated the soundtrack of that Richard Linklater film, Suburbia. I was overjoyed by that weird name drop in the first Silent Hill game, and I even felt a special bond with Seth Rogen when he proudly wore his Dirty t-shirt throughout 40-Year-Old Virgin. But for my money, Sonic Youth's weirdest cameo came in the form of basketball players in the game NBA Jam Tournament Edition. This was a massive hit for Midway at the time, and it proved that arcade gamers could be swayed to love sports games if you throw out all the rules and turn it into a 2-on-2 free-for-all. And it was more than just the high-scoring games and the impossibly huge dunks, because every version of NBA Jam was filled with fun cheat codes and hidden characters. In fact, by the time the game hit the PlayStation and Saturn, pretty much everybody that had worked on the game could be accessed through a special code, alongside other notable names like President Bill Clinton and the First Lady, Hillary. Prince Charles also laced up for the basketball fun, as did DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. And don't forget about Heavy D and the Beastie Boys, both of which found mainstream success and didn't seem all that out of place in a basketball exhibition. Sonic Youth, on the other hand, stuck out like a sore thumb. I mean, even at the time, I was both shocked and baffled to see my favorite noise rockers dunking on David Robinson and Charles Barkley. It's not like their music was in the game anywhere, and with the entire band pushing 40, they weren't exactly in their athletic peak. Honestly, it would have made more sense to feature Nirvana, as at least their Smells Like Teen Spirit music video took place on a basketball court. But look, as weird as this cameo felt at the time, I still thought it was really cool. It made me wonder if somebody at Midway, maybe even Mark Turmel himself, was a big Sonic Youth fan. And if that's the case, then that's honestly super awesome. But if that is the case, then it does bring up one uncomfortable question. Why go to all the trouble of putting Sonic Youth in the game, only to get their birthdays wrong? And that's the thing. NBA Jam has a birthday problem. The thing you need to know about NBA Jam is that you can unlock a hidden celebrity by typing in their initials and their birthday date. For example, if you want Thurston Moore from Sonic Youth, you type in MOE and June 8th. It's February 4th and REN for Lee Ronaldo, while Steve Shelley has you type in an SHY and June 8th. Now, if you want to play as Kim Gordon, then GOR are her initials, and July 3rd is her birthday. There's just one big problem about all this. These days are complete nonsense. Look, I get it. Most people don't pay attention to other people's birthdays, especially the different members in a band. I bet you can't even tell me any of the Beatles' birthdays, and they're arguably the most famous band ever. But here's the thing, you have to remember that I was a massive Sonic Youth fan, and I loved Kim Gordon. When I saw that her birthday was April 28th, I couldn't help but remember that because that's only 2 days after my own birthday. It's the same reason that I remember sharing birthdays with other celebrities, like the two main villains in the Breaking Bad universe. You know, Giancarlo Esposito and Carol Burnett. So, I have to wonder if Kim Gordon's birthday is actually April 28th, then why does NBA Jam insist on having it be July 3rd? And this is the exact moment that you realize that none of the birthdays are right in NBA Jam. Bill Clinton was born August 19th, not June 3rd. Hillary was born October 26th, not November 6th. The game has DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince born in October and February, respectively, but they were actually born in January and September. And that got me to wonder if it was just the celebrity names, or if it was every player in the entire game. I mean, the people that make this game are right there as bonus characters, so there's no way this game is gonna mess up their birthdays, right? I can understand not doing the research to find Kim Gordon's birthday, but Mark Turmel? He's directly responsible for both the boom and the shakalaka. Surely they got Mark's birthday right? Nope. On home consoles, you unlock Mark by plugging in January 31st as his birthday, when in actuality, the correct date is March 22nd. Honestly, how can this be? How could he possibly get this wrong? As it turns out, he didn't. If we go back to the original arcade version of NBA Jam, you'll be able to unlock Mark using the initials MUT and his birthday of March 22nd. It's a little hard to find the birthdays of Sal DeVita, John Hay, George Petro, and really the rest of the team that worked on the original coin-op version of NBA Jam. But I have to imagine, much like Mark, these dates are also spot on. That means that somebody at either Acclaim or, more likely, Iguana got lazy and decided that the birthdays don't really matter. Iguana was the company responsible for bringing the arcade smash hit to most of the home consoles, which means that they also had a big say in which characters were added into the console ports. That's why you see a lot of Acclaim and Iguana employees show up as hidden characters, as well as the addition of Sonic Youth. I mean, perhaps Mark Turmel is a big fan of experimental Jet Set Trash and No Star, but he wasn't the one that added Sonic Youth to NBA Jam. That must have come from a mega fan over at Iguana. Now look, I will admit that finding somebody's birthday back in the mid-1990s was not as easy as it is today. These days, you just type the name into Google and in no time at all, there it is, Bill Clinton's birthday. It's also on Wikipedia and about a million other websites. Back in the early to mid-1990s, you definitely had to do more searching. Maybe you had to make a call or consult a book or encyclopedia. It might even have taken the better part of an afternoon to wrangle in all those dates. Who on earth is gonna know when Kim Gordon was born? You'd have to be a real jerk to notice the discrepancy and then point it out to other people. Perhaps I'll keep that in mind on May 5th when I'm celebrating the birthday of former Acclaim developer Asif Chow Chow Chowdhury. You know, assuming that's even his real birthday. Hey, thanks for watching me talk about Sonic Youth and NBA Jam and even birthdays. It's honestly rare to be able to talk about all three of those things in the same breath. Now, here's the question I have for you. What's your favorite video game cameo? You know, another really weird one was Buzz Osborne of the Melvin showing up at the end of, Sunset Overdrive. I'm probably like one of 5 people in the world that actually cheered when he showed up. Let me see your picks in the comments below. In other news, we'll be back later this week with a new PlayStation Plus review crew. Plus, EGM ranks Star Wars on Friday. It's a packed week, so do me a favor and click that subscribe button and support what we're doing here. Until then.